Hello children, how are you doing? I hope you all are fine. Let's start the new chapter, new topic, the verb. A verb is a word that tells us or asserts something about a person or an object. For example, the boy kicks the football, the girl is happy, I have a red bicycle. In sentence number 1, the verb kicks denotes an action, and in second sentence the verb denotes a state of being. In third sentence, the verb denotes possession. So, a verb can be defined as a word that tells us about an action, a state of being or possession or something. All sentences must have a verb with a subject. ये आपने पहले भी पढ़ा है, verb होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Based on their uses, the verbs are divided into 3 kinds. Doing verbs, being verbs and having verbs. Doing verbs, action verbs, play, work, study, jump. Being verbs, existence verb, which is, am, are, was, were or be. Having verbs, possession verbs, has, have, had. Read the following sentences. I drink milk every day. They play cricket. I drink juice every day. We study together. I'm an athlete. We were roommates and we are playing badminton. I'm a very shy student. She has a red ribbon. She had a yellow sweater. He has a 2 green pen. And he had white shoes. The words in color in the above sentences are verbs that denote the state of doing, being and having. Practice session 1. Select the doing, being or having verbs and write them in their respective columns as done in the first. Kinds of verbs. There are 2 kinds of verbs. One is transitive and another is intransitive. We shall now study the kinds of verbs in detail. Transitive verbs. Read the following sentences. His father gave. What did the father give? They went. Where did they go? And in these sentences given above, the verbs gave and went alone do not make complete sense. They can become meaningful only when some objects are added to these verbs. So, a verb is said to be transitive if it needs an object to complete its meaning. तो transitive तब होगी जब आप object भी add करेंगे. For example, his father gave a watch to him. They went to the stadium. तो यहाँ पर हमने object भी add कर दिया. The words watch and stadium are the objects of the verbs and help in making complete sense of the verbs gave and went. All such verbs that require an object to complete their sense are called transitive verbs. Intransitive verbs, read the following sentences. The sun shines, the boy smiled, the chef cooked. These sentences make complete sense. The verbs shine, smiled and cooked do not need an object to make complete sense. Such verbs are called intransitive verbs. Okay, a verb is said to be intransitive if it does not need an object to complete its meaning. तो याद रखेंगे ट्रांजिटिव में ऑब्जेक्ट चाहिए और इसमें ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं चाहिए. You have practice session. Select transitive and intransitive verbs and write them on blank. Given below a list of transitive verbs that need objects to make meaningful sentence. Cut, name, make, need, get, handle, believe, buy, build, carry, blame, list. Do, find, feel, free, fear, want, have, hit, hire, keep, hear, provide, mean, support, sell, take, see, cover, prefer, prevent, produce, guard, grant, hate, claim, complete, correct, like, know, love. And given below is the list of intransitive verbs that are complete and not need any object. Arise, arrive, bleed, blush, disappear, doze, faint, fall, laugh, mourn, pose, rise, smile, speak, swim and swim and wait, depart, howl, shine, vanish, cry, scream, sleep, weep, happen and roar, kneel. Some verbs can be used both as a transitive and intransitive verbs. दोनों में भी use होती हैं बहुत सारी verbs. Study the following examples. The school bell rings. The peon rings the bell. These girls runs very fast. Her mother runs a boutique. Bamboos grow very fast. We grow many plants in our garden. Got it? Direct and indirect objects. You know that transitive verbs require an object to make complete sense. ये आपने पता लगाया पहले. But some transitive verbs require 2 objects. One of them should be an object and another one a person. Study the following sentences. He taught us English. She gave me a gift. She sent him a letter. We can write these sentences as he taught English to us. So मैंने us भी साथ में ऐड कर दिया. She gave a gift to me. She sent a letter to him. तो एक person ऐड हो गया. Yes, in these sentences, English, gift and letter are direct objects because a direct object is generally the name of an object. Us, me and him is altered sentences are indirect objects as an indirect object is the same person. The above sentences have two objects. In sentence 1, the verb taught has two objects, us and English. In second sentence, the verb gave has two objects, me and gift. And number 3, in third sentence, verb sent has two objects, him and letter. Glad to know a direct object is non-living thing and indirect object is person, animal or thing. The direct indirect object is written before the direct object. ये नोट कर लीजिएगा बच्चों. Practice session. Underline the direct and indirect objects in the following sentences and in B part, add suitable objects to complete the sentences. Classifications of verbs. Verbs are also classified into two more categories based upon their uses. The main or the principal verbs. There are some words like sing, study, run, play, dance, act, etc. that are examples of main or principal verbs. The form of the verb or to which an ending can be added or which can be altered to obtain another forms is known as the base form of principal verb. The main or principal verb is further divided into two categories on the basis of how they are used in the simple past or the past participle. They are regular verbs, irregular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs whose simple past and past participle are formed by adding d or ed, जैसे आप generally करते हैं. To the base form are called regular verbs. जैसे आप हमेशा क्या करते हैं, present में ed ऐड कर देते हैं, like play, played, okay, and dance, danced, danced. But irregular verbs में ऐसा नहीं होता बच्चों. Verbs whose simple past and past participle are formed in various ways are called irregular verbs. जैसे sing, sang, sung, awake, woke, woken, and shake, shook, shaken. Auxiliary or helping verbs. Verbs are those verbs that are used with another verb, main to form tenses, passive forms, etc. They are known as auxiliary or helping verbs. For example, do, does, did, be, is, am, are, was, were, have, has, had, can, will, shall, etc. Auxiliaries or helping verbs can further be divided into two categories. One is primary and another is modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries, those helping verbs which help to form tenses, questions, passive voice, etc. and are called primary auxiliary verbs. Their form changes according to the number of persons of the subject. Primary auxiliaries are to, be, have and do, such as be, is, am, are, was, were, been, being, have, has, have, had and do, does, did. The following table explains the use of primary auxiliary clearly. I am, you, we, they are, he, she is, I was, we, you, they were, reading book. So ये आप इसके साथ लगाते हैं, right? इनका uses इनके साथ, I के साथ हमारे नहीं लगा सकते, right? Always comes with I comes with किसके साथ आता है? Am के साथ, okay? Modal auxiliaries, these are those auxiliary verbs that cannot be used as main verbs. They help the main verb to signify the manner in which the actions are shown by the main verb. Their form does not change according to the number or person of the subject बच्चों. He could be winner of the race. Here could shows the possibility of winning. इसके कोई number person से relation नहीं है. Okay, modal auxiliaries are may, will, would, shall, must, need, should, might, could, ought to, can, used to, dare. Glad to know. Modal auxiliaries can never stand alone in a sentence. Forms of the verbs. There are three forms of the verbs in present, past and past participle. The following table shows the forms of the verbs. Give, gave, given, get, got, gotten, forget, forgot, forgotten, fall, fell, fallen, break, broke, broken, eat, ate, eaten, choose, chose, chosen. Write, wrote, written, take, took, taken, steal, stole, stolen, stick, stuck, stuck, ring, rang, rung, shake, shook, shaken, sing, sang, sung, catch, caught, caught, dig, dug, dug, sell, sold, sold, sit, sat, sat. Here are some verbs that have the same forms in all the three tenses: coast, 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 cast, 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 bet, 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 let, put, 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 hit, hit, hit. इन तीनों में सेम फॉर्म जाएगी. Linking verbs and complements. Study the following sentences. The girl looks happy and Mahesh is strong. The verb in these two sentences are not verbs of action. यहाँ पे कोई action नहीं हो रहा. Generally, look is not action and is not action. They tell us what the subject is and or looks and not what the subject does. जो generally तो action verbs से होती है ना बच्चों. Such verbs join the subject to some other words that describes it and they are called linking verbs. They are sometimes called verbs of incomplete prediction because they require another word called a complement to form a complete predicate. Thus the word strong, which tells us what Mahesh is and which is required to form a complete predicate, is called the complement of the verb. Making verbs from adjective. Verbs can be formed from some adjective by adding the prefix en and suffix en or isc. By using en as a prefix, large in large, able in able, sure in sure, rich in rich. By adding en as a suffix, broad broaden, cheap cheapen, wide widen, strong strengthen. Adjective and verb: hard harden, flat flatten, glad gladden, deep deepen, white whiten, thick thicken, weak weaken and sweet sweeten. By adding suffix isc and izd, modern modernize, fertile fertiles, familiar familiarize, standard standardize, special specialize, real realize. Making verbs from nouns. We can make verbs from some nouns by using suffixes ise or izd, en, fy and prefixes en and b. By using the suffixes isc or izd, economy economize, critic criticize, colony colonize, sympathy sympathize, memory memorize, magnet magnetize. By using suffix en, haste hasten, fright frighten, dread redden, height heighten. By using suffix fy, glory glorify, terror terrify, example exemplify, class classify, peace specify, justice justify. By using the prefix en, courage encourage, camp in camp, danger in danger, snare in snare, list in list, slave in slave. By using prefix be, friend be friend, fool be fool, seize be seize, head ahead. Practice session 4. Make verbs from the following nouns and adjectives. And exercises for your practice. Do practice by these exercises. A. Write the verbs forms of words in the brackets as done in the first. And in B part, write objects, the transitive or intransitive verbs to complete the sentences. In C part, write the verbs as indicated in the brackets. And in D part, tick the right option. Activity zone. The student prepares chits with verbs written on them and put them in the box. Students work in pairs. The first pair picks a verb. They make two sentences with the same verb, one transitive, one intransitive. Having two objects, the pass is passed to the pair which first identifies is correctly. Okay. So, read the instructions and do this activity. Have fun. Enjoy.